So there's breaking news out of Tuscaloosa. Unfortunately, it's the breaking news nobody wanted to hear, as it's being reported by Nick Kelly of ESPN that star Alabama wide receiver Isaiah Bond has filed the paperwork to enter into the transfer portal. And today, we have got to talk about this and why this underscores why it's so important to make this hire quickly. Before we can, as always, y'all know the drill. I have got to hear from you. Hop down to the comments. Give me a Y for yes or an N for no. Are you surprised that Isaiah Bond is entering into the transfer portal? Let me know what you're thinking. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. Hit that bell notification as I do constant college football content. You don't want to miss any of it. And if you enjoyed the content, be sure to like and comment. But having said all of that, let's jump right into this. And let's start with Isaiah Bond, who was a massive piece of the Alabama offense this year. This year alone, he accounted for 48 receptions, 668 yards, 4 touchdowns, and averaged just shy of 14 yards per reception. If we look to when he was recruited, this was a top 50 player in all of high school football in the class of 2022. So he is an incredibly talented player, and he showcased that this year. He was a player that many figured would be a focal piece of the offense next year, which really highlights why this hire must be made so quickly. Whenever Nick Saban retired, it's no secret at this point that a 30-day window opened up for the Alabama roster in which players could test the waters of the transfer portal. And if a hire is not made soon, I fear that players will indeed test the waters. Alabama has got one of the most talented rosters in all of college football. And one thing we realize is tampering is rampant right now within the game of college football because there are so many ways to quote unquote get away with tampering. Alabama and the AD have got to come to a decision, and they have got to do so quickly because the roster is so talented and because when Nick Saban retired, they said they would have a decision within 72 hours, or they said to the players to give them at least 72 hours before they made any decisions. Well, that timeline is ticking, and Alabama has got to make a decision. Now, when we talk about possible names, you're looking at guys such as Kalen DeBoer. That name has been featured so many times. One would have to imagine if Kalen DeBoer was to take the job, which news will be coming out about that, whether he does or does shortly, hopefully not while I'm currently recording this video. That's a guy that has high-powered offenses. If Alabama is to keep some of these wide receivers, they need to make sure that they keep someone on the defensive side of the ball who understands the relationships that are present on the team, and somebody on the offensive side of the ball that the team can get behind and get excited for. Offensively speaking, DeBoer certainly has a high-powered offense. We look at what he did with wide receivers this year, a name like Lane Kiffin, another name to keep an eye on. But this is exactly why so many people are hoping Alabama makes this hire and makes it quickly. Because every hour that goes by, it's chipping away at the roster. And though this is the first name to enter, if a name isn't picked soon, I fear it won't be the last. Hop down to the comments. Let me know what you're thinking. That's it. See you.